This is Nehemiah Grigo, convicted of 5 counts of second-degree murder. On January 19, 2013, 15-year-old Nehemiah Grigo murdered 5 members of his own family, including his parents and 3 younger siblings. First, he shot his mother twice in the face, then he shot his younger brother, Zephaniah, once in the head. Nehemiah then went into the bedroom, where his younger sisters were crying, and fatally shot each of them in the head. When his father returned home, Nehemiah shot him multiple times. Then he drove to church and told his 12-year-old girlfriend that his family had died in an accident. When the pastor, a retired homicide detective, heard that something was wrong with Nehemiah's family, he followed him home after calling 911, sensing something was wrong. Nehemiah was initially sentenced as a juvenile to be released by the time he is 21 years old. Less than 3 months to his release date, Nehemiah was resentenced as an adult due to concerns that he was still dangerous to the public. Some of his family members, including his older sister, also share these concerns.
It's really surreal just to be here. It's a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. The 5-year anniversary was a few days ago, and so it's a lot. He murdered 5 people, and for him to do that, I don't think anybody can come back from that. Just some of the things that he told me when I would visit him in jail, and the reason I stopped talking to him is because of some of the things that he said that were not right. I personally would like him to stay behind bars. I think he is a danger to society, and I think he's a danger to our family.
In October 2015, Nehemiah pled guilty to 5 counts of second-degree murder. He was eventually sentenced to 3 concurrent life sentences, plus 7 additional years, with eligibility for parole after 30 years. This is Lyle and Eric Menendez, commonly referred to as the Menendez brothers. Both convicted of the 1989 murder of their parents, Jose and Mary Menendez, at their home in Beverly Hills. On August 18, 1989, Lyle and Eric Menendez bought short guns. On August 20, 1989, they proceeded to their Beverly Hills mansion where their parents were watching a movie. They shot their father 6 times and their mother 10 times. After the murders, they disposed off their blood-stained cloths and buried the short guns. They attempted to create an alibi by going to a movie theater and then a festival. When they returned home, they called 911 claiming to have discovered their parents' bodies. According to the Menendez brothers, they killed their parents because their dad was molesting them.
What do you believe was the originating cause of you and your brother shooting your parents?
Me telling.
You telling Lyle what? Was it you telling Lyle about something that was happening?
My dad. My dad.
If you don't ask.
My dad had been molesting me.
And did you want something from your brother? Is that why you told him?
I wanted to stop.
Were you seeking help from your brother?
Yes.
I told him that it was basically oral sex that was happening.
Okay. And did you tell him anything about any kind of violence that would accompany it, or any kind of threats from your father?
Yes.
And what did you tell him about violence?
I told him that there were pins and tacks that Dad would stick in me and use.
Pins.
Could you speak up, please?
That Dad would stick in me and use.
Pins and tacks?
Yes.
And did you give him the impression that these pins and tacks were being used during oral sex?
Yes.
And in fact, was that something that did happen between yourself and your father when you were a teen?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did you tell him about any weapons that your father ever threatened you with?
I told him that he threatened me with a knife.
Now, Mr. Menendez, do you remember the kind of knife that your father threatened you with?
Yes.
What kind was it?
It was a jagged knife.
A what?
a jagged knife on one end. It was a Rambo knife.
A Rambo knife?
Yeah, a knife that he had.
After sports practices, he would massage me, and we would have these talks, and he would show me, and he would fondle me, and he would ask me to do the same with him, and I would touch him, and we would undress.
Where would this
and it
take
was
place?
In my bedroom, like 2 or 3 times a week. We would be in the bathroom, and he would put me on my knees, and he would guide me, all my movements. He used objects.
What kind of objects?
A toothbrush and some sort of shaving utensil brush.
And what would he do with the toothbrush?
Well, in the bedroom, we'd have what we called object sessions. He'd have a tube of Vaseline, and he just played with me.
Did you tell your mom?
Yes.
What did you say to your mom?
I told her to tell Dad to leave me alone. And he keeps touching me. She told me to stop it, and that I was exaggerating, and that my dad has to punish me when I do things wrong. And she told me that he loved me.
Did you tell your brother?
And when asked why they killed their mother also, Eric said because she knew about the abuse all along.
You killed your father, who was molesting you. Why did you kill your mother?
On Thursday night before, in one of the explosions, I was running downstairs and I was crying. And my mother was on the couch and she had been drinking. And she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, nothing, you wouldn't understand. And she said, "Oh, I understand. What do you think, I'm stupid?" And she told me that she knew, that she had known all my life what my father was doing. And it was like I didn't even know who she was anymore. And I just saw Dad and Mom as the same person at that point. I saw them as a single person.
And really the first time that this secret about what was happening with Dad and Eric was discussed openly in the family in a very angry way. I don't know about Eric, but I completely lost control of myself.
During their trial, Lyle also confessed to abusing Eric.
Did you do something to your brother?
Yes.
What did you do to your brother?
I took him out to the woods whenever I felt, I don't know, I took him out sometimes, and I took a toothbrush also, and I played with Eric in the same way. And I'm sorry.
Their defense tried to push for manslaughter, but the brothers were eventually convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. 35 years has passed, and the Menendez brothers are still in prison. This is Tyler Hadley, 17-year-old boy who murdered his parents in cold blood. On July 16, 2011, he murdered his parents, Blake and Mary Jo Hadley. A few weeks earlier, Tyler told a friend he wanted to throw a big party. When his parent returned, he attacked his mother with a claw hammer. On hearing her screams, his father rushed in and was also fatally attacked by Tyler. He then dragged their bodies into the master bedroom and spent the next 3 hours cleaning up. Later that day, Tyler funded his party with his deceased parent credit card. According to report, about 60 people attended and some noticed a strange smell. During the party, Tyler confessed to his friend, Michael Mandel, who later discovered the bodies but stayed at the party for about an hour before reporting the crime.
After he told me, I didn't believe him. because he's been my best friend forever. I would never suspect anything like this. And I was looking around. He told me if I look at enough, I can see signs. I looked on the floor, I could see signs of blood. And that's when I went around back and looked in his parents' bedroom.
Tyler was arrested the next morning. He was eventually convicted of the murders and sentenced to life in prison. This is Paris Bennett, convicted of the murder of his baby sister. On February 4, 2007, 13-year-old Paris Bennett murdered his 4-year-old sister, Ella Bennett, by stabbing her 17 times. His motive was his resentment towards their mother. He believes that taking away one of her children will cause her the most emotional pain. Paris called 911, pretending to be insane after stabbing Ella 17 times. Paris was charged with capital murder. He later pled guilty and was sentenced to 40 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. He will be eligible for parole in February 2027.
If you find this video enlightening, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe.